For legality.
Yeah, it's okay, man.
They'll confiscate Raffles' computer.
You guys ever watch the Whitest Kids? They were like a
I've
sketch
seen
comedy.
I've seen a
clips on
few
the
skits,
internet.
but that's
Yeah,
about it.
I don't know. I really enjoyed them back in the day, and I saw them again recently, and I was like, they're still pretty funny. But there's just like the one skit where they're just like, "Did you know it's illegal to say on television, 'I want you to kill the president of the United States of America'?" And I'm like, I guarantee that is illegal. He's like, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying it's illegal to say this.
You know this building is unguarded, but don't get on it.
Yeah,
It's illegal.
I love that. I'm like, that's like, such a funny thing to say.
Well,
All right, well,
that reminds me, George Carlin. The 7 words you're never supposed to say on TV.
Yes.
Which are
No, he might have already hit the red button.
shit. So,
Beep
Oh, I
beep
did.
beep beep.
Yeah.
if you're not allowed to swear on Twitch, then what the hell is Twitch?
You're definitely.
Twitch is definitely entertainment.
Well, it's a bit weird. I swear on Twitch, obviously, but I also have that big, like, mature audiences flag because we do horror role playing and play video games where you shoot people. But I know YouTube's bad for it though. YouTube really,
Oh, yeah, you'd be demonetized. Like,
yeah, you get
instantly.
destroyed for swearing on YouTube, which is
Even if
mental.
you're marked as being for mature audiences. Which is
Yeah.
stupid.
Whereas like Twitch is like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can do these things, but don't be stupid about it. Like, it's alright to say fuck when you're frustrated, but don't like direct that at people. Basically, currently, anyway. We'll see what the future holds. But we are currently, we've all been roused from our slumber, and basically our recap is just going to be the conversation I think we might be having. But maybe do a quick recap anyway. What do you think, Borrowed? Do you want to?
I mean, should we just recap by what I
Do you want to
message you on Steam?
Recap in character?
Screaming profanely, echoing through the corridors of the shattered vessel.
That's up to you guys. Recapping a character is obviously... Well, I guess we can't recap Origami Scene if we do that. So...
I mean, like, yeah, Raffle, should I just do what I messaged you on Steam, though? Should that be the recap?
We could. That is funny, but then maybe expand upon some things for Dino and Fox's sake. But the quick recap.
Yeah. So the TLDR. We went to one of the vestibules and we welded the doors shut, excluding one, obviously, so we can get out. And then Wilson and Miller went on an adventure. Investigate the liaison room. Like, the liaison room investigation. Shit's fucked. Close that shit back up and go ask Mother a lot of questions. One of the questions, the answer is JC, a bomb. There's apparently a ship cracker on the ship. And then, okay, well, how about the captain's quarters? Yeah, we found a dead guy. It wasn't the captain. Then we found the captain's journal, and he went crazy. Go figure. Wilson decided to go take a shower. Things went wrong.
Yes, it did.
So, yeah, no, didn't want to do that. After that, we had JoJo's crack addict adventure, where Megan went over and stole morphine. Then we had Flynn and Ada attempt to talk to an idiot. By that, I mean the crack. Then after that, something exploded. Turns out it was the fucking Montero. All the rage.
We should clarify. Everyone was sleeping except for Dr. Johns when a lot of things happened. There was a lot of movement. His motion tracker's going crazy. Targets going in all directions. And he sat there holding a pistol, waiting. We heard shuddering. We heard potentially the airlock groaning. He waited, holding the pistol, guarding the door, protecting everyone. And then the ship exploded, which awoke you all. So.
Ha ha!
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So there was.
So we left off very end with all hands on deck report to the bridge.
Now, the fun thing that Dino and Fox missed with the Origami's character running through the vents, getting caught by Ava and Flynn, and then hops down into medbay, and in an attempt to distract them from scooching backwards towards the med kit, the last medical kit on the ship probably, opening it with her hand behind her back and grabbing out supplies, like drugs. While she was doing this, it was her plan to ask questions and sort of confuse them with misdirection and grill them. And actually ended up getting a lot of like plot information out of them that only she knows. So that's good. That's our little Kraken. Got quite a bit. The corporate suite, Wilson and Miller spent like their entire session trying to get into, and ended up just being led on more and more wild goose chases.
Events overtook us.
Yes, and when Bard said there was a ship cracker, specifically it's because Wilson put in Lori Clayton's card into the mother terminal, not the main mother terminal, but one of the just auxiliary ones, and they guessed her password, luckily.
What was it?
Just some. I didn't actually have an actual password,
Oh.
but like Wilson was just like bullshitting and just typing
encourage him.
So got the password, and was like, are there any like weapons on this signed ship that there shouldn't be? Like any, anything that shouldn't be here? And it's like, well, there's a huge bomb. And the part that Borrowed neglected to mention was when Wilson and Miller were both staring at this terminal, shit their collective pants at this huge ship-cracking bomb, and then where is it? Can't locate the bomb. And they're like, it's like, where was it last? In this room. What's the status on this room? It's got a hull breach. Yeah, hull integrity was at 70% or something. Good stuff.
I'm not sure about the integrity, but I know that like it was only like 70% pressurized.
Oh, pressurized. That's what I meant. Yeah.
So, did you guys get into the corporate suite or no?
They opened the door.
We opened the door and like the lights were all off and stuff, and it's like, okay, well, let's go talk to Mother and see if we can turn on the emergency lights. And that's when we started with the whole bunch of questions and ended up with JC a bomb.
Well, so the one thing they learned is on the map, the X's are welds that actually Cham did before he went to bed. And this blue rectangle around the corporate suite storage and the captain's quarters, that is on its own separate power grid. Not attached to the rest of the station at all. And that grid has been disabled in some capacity. Yeah, and I think that was kind of all like the plot critical stuff. Leah found out quite a bit of stuff, but only she knows that, so it's actually kind of in character not to describe that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But everyone else is probably going to get a little bit of a rundown. So we'll start our session. We're on the bridge. Everyone has shown up. Cham got the least amount of sleep because he had to basically do a double shift guarding. Because Wilson and Miller were like, we're going to take first watch. Also, we're leaving.
Watch is going to be all the way over here.
Yeah. And Rye slept the whole time. Nobody bothered her. Because she was resting up. So, Rye, you get a point of stress and health back.
Nice.
Yeah. And in other news, Leah, you feel great today. My God, you had a little bit of a nap. Never felt better. So you can restore your health up to your strength.
Man, that was a lot of drugs.
I do it myself, right? You don't do it.
Drugs? Sorry.
Yeah, that's right, Fox. Yeah, you just go down one stress and up one health.
Okay, thanks. I just didn't want to like double do it, you know?
No. I'll
Alright,
only do
so
it
what
if
was
like I'll check someone's sheet, and if I see they haven't done it in a minute, and I'm just like, oh, I'll just do it so I don't bother them.
So what was it?
So your
no.
strength, your health, sorry, goes up to your strength, which I
what?
think is up to 4 now, because you started
Ah.
with 2. But very, very healthy boy or girl, sorry. Awesome.
Alright.
Cool. So we're all on the bridge. There's probably a dull klaxon that was going off for a while. It's probably weeding out. We have emergency lighting in the bridge. Let's say it's like a like that red like you always see in submarines, right? When they go to emergency lighting, the whole bridge is red. The rest of the station's fine, but this is like battle stations, folks. And the holo display is probably flickering horribly as it tries to pull up some sort of diagnostic element. Miller, you called the meeting. Why don't you start by saying hi?
Well, first, out of character, I'm going to say, fuck you, Twitch. It tried to load an ad for Raffle's stream, and is now giving me a screen saying that I need to go check my third-party tools, probably in my ad blocker or script.
Oh, really? That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You
How
know,
about
for a
fuck you,
moment
Twitch?
there, I was extremely just hyped out of my mind at the belief that there are actual commercials out there saying, "Hey, we know you're watching this right now, but have you considered watching Raffle Lobster live on Twitch right
No,
now?
no.
Playing D&D with the fellas."
Believe me, those do not exist.
Sponsored
No.
by Raid Shadow.
Shadow Legend.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
Ridge Wallet.
Oh man.
No, not really though. So don't sue us.
Well, I mean, you can't forget about Manscaped, though. Like, fucking, God, just all those fucking ads. Okay, so where to even start the session for a conversation?
Oh, I
boy.
know. I'm sure you've got a list of things you want to say.
Yeah, maybe. You know, maybe.
Miller probably has a lot of things out of Twitch TOS she wants to drop right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start with one of the elephants in the room. Before we even discuss all the shit fuckery, Ada, why are you missing an arm?
Okay, so we're skipping the Montero for later.
We're trying to ease people into it. I
That's
think.
right, yeah. Is this like one of those sandwiches where you compliment them, drop the Montero, and end with a compliment? Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, the Montero's gone. There's no point in like discussing it immediately because it's gone. We can't get it back. But Ada's arm missing is an interesting revelation because it's like, you're kind of injured. I know you're an android and all synthetic, whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
but what the hell happened?
She just sort of stares blankly at you. I lost it defending Flynn.
Oh, okay. Defending him from what?
Well, I heard a noise outside of the med bay shortly before we encountered your crewmate, and I went out to investigate, and I was attacked by some creature. It didn't attack me directly, but it tried moving past me into the room with Flynn, and I managed to restrain it, but it ripped off one of my arms before running away.
Would this happen to be one of the creatures that we talked about before?
I think that's likely. Flynn's calling them neomorphs. But I'm not sure what that has to do with anything.
What are they Neo too?
But 350.
Flynn, what's the taxonomy on that name?
I'm not a biologist, ask Dr. Johns.
Well, it's really easy to ask Dr. Johnson is to ask Dr. Cooper.
Yeah, why don't we ask Dr. Cooper?
Well, he turned into a neomorph, surely he would know.
That's true, yeah. He would hopefully know. I don't know. Sorry?
Did I remember him dying. Did he get up and walk around after dying, or? Oh no, he had a chest burster. That's right.
Well, yeah, head
Yeah,
burster.
head burster, but
Yeah.
Head burster. Yeah.
Apparently, a neomorph is a gain of function mutation that causes a novel gene function.
Hmm.
Well, thanks, Google.
I mean, I wouldn't call
Mother.
having your head explode be all that novel, but
Or a new mutation, spontaneous head explodium.
I don't know if I like the fact that we're talking about vaccines on a novel virus, but anyway.
He's talking about Corona.
This is all just
Twitch TOS too.
that space Rona. Oh, TOS.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, on that same train though, before Ada, when we were talking about these, you said that you've seen larger versions of that little crab thing. Where
Yes.
did you see them? Did you see them on the ship?
Unfortunately, it was right after the crew had returned from the planet. We went to the vehicle bay and were extracting survivors, and one of them came out.
So there's a bigger one of these somewhere on the ship. It hasn't been taken care of.
I haven't found it, but I've been busy in the last few years, like doing maintenance and watching the cryotubes.
Oh, speaking of cryotubes there, Ada. There were extra cryotubes open aside from Flynn and Cooper. Any idea there?
I'm not sure. I haven't been up to check. When Dr. Flynn and Dr. Cooper reawoke, I'd already met you, your crew.
Hmm.
So where her arms torn off, is she bleeding synthetic blood?
Yes, she has well, now it's probably just dripping because that was a few hours ago. But it's that white, milky. Yeah, Fox hasn't seen Alien. So synthetics in Alien, almost human, depending on the model. Some of them have like even a synthetic stomach, so they can appear to be eating. Ava is less full human. She's noticeably, just by looking at her, a synthetic. She's just lacking like the full facial features and emotion that some advanced models do. And
In that nice uncanny valley, right?
right, she just looks off, and she doesn't have any range of emotion with her voice whatsoever. She just states things as they are. But that said, all synthetics bleed a sort of white, milky fluid. That's acting. I forget what it actually is, but you can essentially think of that as their blood. They can't quite die
I think
by
it's
having
to
it all.
lubricate them.
Is it? Okay, I wasn't sure if it was like that or like a coolant fluid or something.
Maybe a bit of both.
I know they can lose most of it and they're not like dead because they can still be physically repaired.
Yeah,
because they're
break
just
the
a
fluid.
computer. Yeah, but they do require it for motor functions.
I think with the later versions of the synths, they made their muscular skeletal system more like humans. So instead of having like joints and actuators, they instead have them like held floating in place by like hydraulics.
Oh, that's kind of
So
cool.
The circulatory fluid is a form of white liquid latex used to lubricate their interior systems.
Keeping their bones wet. I like it. So Dr.
It's fine. We're all 12.
Yeah.
It's just the connectivity tissue to the bone structure keeps them bones wet.
Yeah.
Miracles of evolution. Keep that calcium
Yeah.
lubricated, bro. Ruffle, you're a gift.
So Flynn takes out let's say a translucent red file folder, and he sets it sort of on the broken hollow display table. He passes out a few sheets. I won't bore you all with the details, but they're here if you want to look. These are my notes of recent events that I've been writing up in between periods of waiting while developing the vaccine. It would appear, now with the new evidence of the creature that attacked Ava, that there is a life cycle to this creature, that it evolves rapidly. Originally, we had thought the blueberries unrelated to reports of creatures that we had heard. We thought there was perhaps indigenous life on the planet, but now it would seem that the blueberries transport the virus, possibly through these motes, which could maybe be the seed from the egg, if you will, and that's implanted in a person, and that creates that creature we just saw now. I shudder to think if one of those got loose and, as Ava said, a larger one still could evolve.
Sorry.
Ada, where did that creature come from? Did it come from the science lab direction?
She pauses. Yes, that's correct. I would say more so. Well, she would sort of point, like to here. You know what I mean? It came from the science sector, yeah.
Did you guys hear any noises? Doors being torn open before this?
There was a loud crash, most likely in the direction of Scilab 1.
Yeah, look over at Dr. John's. I think your problem just became our problem.
I love that.
Yep.
So, speaking of the vaccine, when are we actually going to be getting that? Because I've had a splitting headache for approximately like half a day now.
He looks at you visibly worried. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and give Flynn's. I'm gonna say Flynn's a bit of a coward. I mean, he wants to do the right thing, but you know what I mean. He's not like, he goes pale. He's like, half a day. Okay. I have one of the original vaccines that I've been using to build the other ones off of. We could apply it now. I'm far enough along on creating these that I should be able to create them without having this to study further.
And how about Leia? She's looking a bit strange too.
A bit scuffed.
Unfortunately, we attempted to lock Leia in one of the med pods, but she's escaped.
Escaped?
Well, you left. Yeah. You're about to make your thing, don't worry. And he says she's different. I would imagine. But I didn't know her well enough to begin with. He pauses. At that moment, the door opens and a familiar suit walks in.
Oh, I thought it was already in there. Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I thought you wanted to make like a little bit of an entrance.
Oh, all right.
Like, sorry I'm late kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I walk in, it's just hand wave, just Sorry, wait, I'm late. Walking like
Seem
nothing happened.
particularly lucid.
So we can't really see much of it, or of Leah. She's put on a Cronus, not a Cronus, sorry, one of the Montero's spacesuits. The one that was probably hers to begin with, but she didn't wear before. She's now put it on. She got her space helmet on. She's all suited up. So you in this room with the lighting, you probably just see like a reflection on her visor, but you know it's her. It's got her name tag and everything. And Dr. Flynn says, "Well, the reality is, I have one good vaccine from earlier. Uh, one of you would have to go in a med pod to be safe. It's possible, depending on when you were infected, that either of you could be too far along."
Oh, as far as I know, I had the earlier exposure. Because Leia didn't have her suit compromised until a couple hours after I broke my seal to test if the air was working.
Oh, that's right, Borrowed.
But it's up to you, DM Handwave or not.
Okay, we'll say she's in a Cronus suit then. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she grabbed one of the suits from the EVA.
Mhm.
I just remember Origami mentioned to me that he wanted to put a suit on. So yeah, we'll just say he's in one of the Cronus suits, but he's still like got a visible name tag or something, so you know it's Leah. Plus, you recognize her voice.
I
It's,
just use
the name
Sharpie.
tag's just Sharpied over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that.
No, it's one of the Lowe's or Home Depot thing where it's just like the sticker, so it's like, hello my name is Leah.
Ah, jeez, yeah.
The L is backwards because of the crack.
No, the entire name is upside down because Leah just looked down and wrote it that way.
Yeah, it's upside down, yes.
So, Flynn once again just reiterates, Chim, if you don't mind going through with testing, I would like to take a few tissue samples from you and potentially see if this is something we can trace in someone ahead of time, and then hopefully inoculate you and see if that works.
Works for me, Doc. I mean, I don't know much about all these sciencey things, but I don't want to die.
That's fair. Listen, I don't understand, but just do it.
Should have been a 7, but whatever.
Love it. Well borrowed. I thought Miller might have a "oh, now you show up" sort of thing to Leah.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, yeah.
Okay.
So, our tweaky little friend, Leah,
Yes, my best friend.
You can't kill me, we're best friends.
Steve,
first of all,
so great on all these drugs.
first of all, nice suit. Okay. So we heard that you had a conversation with the doctor here, and you didn't want to go in the med pod.
Well, first of all, they were trying to restrain me, and I didn't feel comfortable with that.
Okay, but you didn't even want to get checked out, though. Like, you came onto the ship without a suit. Like, you probably breathed in this crap on the ship. Like, you didn't even want to get checked.
First of all, I have to entail that there was a ship oncoming, but I never had a chance to tell you due to my being frantic and all that.
I mean, Okay. Leah, when you were in here making evasive maneuvers, I'm gonna walk over to the piloting station. Your evasive maneuvers, I grab the stick and start shaking it, didn't do anything that ship's engines are non-functional.
Yeah, I kind of know that at the last minute. I thought I forgot Fox's and Dino's characters' names were. I thought they were fixing it.
Cham and Rye.
Yeah, I thought Cham and Rye were fixing it.
Yeah. They might have, but we never really got around to that. There was a few more problems to attend to, lack of oxygen and talking to people and investigations.
Someone's head splitting open.
Mm-hmm.
Stabbing a giant crab monster.
Yeah.
Also, sorry, God, what game names? I'm really bad with names.
Flynn or Ava?
No, Fox's character.
Oh, Rye. Kayla Rye.
Sorry, Rye. Just as soon as I woke up, I just needed to move the ship. I didn't know the ship wasn't functional. Sorry for leaving you to deal with that, whatever you were on Medbay.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of leaving stuff and evasive maneuvers and all that, it turns out, Leah, that well, at least I think your mystery ship was real, or is real, because unfortunately for everybody, and perhaps Flynn, Ada here don't know yet, the Montero is gone. And I don't mean gone as in it ran away. I mean gone as in it has been split in half by an anti-ship missile. So we're kind of
I
stuck.
hope the company's gonna reimburse you for the cost of that.
That is way above my pay grade. I don't even know if we're gonna live through this bullshit.
Take it out of your paycheck then.
For the way things are going, I don't think I'm going to be out of debt for the rest of my natural life.
Assuming our lives even get us off this fucking ship.
Well, I mean,
Well, at least there's the prize.
natural life,
to pay
being
off
murdered
debts
by
dead.
whatever's going on, same difference.
Mm-hmm. Say, Leah, while we were in the vestibule sleeping, you were scuttling around the ship. Did you happen to notice anybody else on board?
I
Because
heard some noises, and that's when I realized I need a suit on. Just grab for a suit. But I did notice that keep forgetting the android's name.
Ava.
Ava. That when I went to Medbay, Ava was missing an arm. And that was before all the catastrophe of the ship shaking.
Yeah, Ava lost her arm defending Flynn here from what at the moment we're presuming is the thing that John's found in Science Lab 1. It might have got out and was trying to come after them, but Ada tried to stop it, and it returned the favor by ripping off her arm.
I see no scuffle on that. Probably happened before I went to Med Lab.
Well, it was outside Med Lab. You came in through the vents, so you probably wouldn't have seen it in the hallway.
I tried going through the front door, but it was locked. That's why I had to go through the vents.
Well, I mean, you didn't have to, but yes. So, Ada, I have a question for you.
She turns in your direction.
Are you aware of any weaponry, specifically explosives, on the ship?
She pauses. It's a tough one. I'm aware of a device on the ship for emergency purposes. Being as my priority one is to defend human life, I've never paid it much regard. And only 2 people on board had codes for it.
If I had to guess, I would say that was the captain and the liaison.
No.
Oh, who was it then?
The liaison's correct. The other was Dr. Cooper.
Interesting. Why Cooper? Like, the captain isn't allowed to blow up his own ship?
The
No.
captain was unaware of the device.
Oh. Where was this device located the captain wouldn't have known?
Originally, we had it hidden in the corporate suite, but there was an incident, and it was moved.
How large is this? Like the size of a suitcase?
Let's say it's about the size of like a keg. Roughly the same shape.
That's
as
one party no one will ever forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
A party that was to die for. Do you know where it was transported to after the suite?
Transported to. Oh my god, my life. Was it Cargo Bay 2 or 1 that I said borrowed?
Cargo Bay.
Got to write that down.
I think it was Cargo Bay 2.
Hang on, I'll just open. I know I wrote it on this paper here.
Oh, the vehicle bay was the one that was hot.
No, that's not the one. It is in Cargo Bay 1.
Yeah, the last known was Cargo Bay 1, but Mother couldn't locate it.
Well, that's the last known place Ava knows of it.
Hmm.
That's where she was asked to move it, yeah. Which is presumably how Mother knows that. As Mother and Ava are connected. But this android's your friend. Her priority one is saving human life, and we know Mother's isn't.
Mother's priority one is blowing up my fucking shit.
Oh, you also, just a reminder, so in Miller and Wilson's corporate adventures, they also discovered Special Order 966 was also sent to Lori Clayton. But the specifics of it, Mother wouldn't give out on a auxiliary terminal. And they haven't been to visit her yet. But that was something that they discovered, is Lori Clayton was also informed of 966. And potentially, she has a higher clearance and pay grade than Wilson, so she may know more.
Yep. see what else was there. Right. Ada, have you been down to the lower levels, like the vehicle bay, recently?
I have not.
Because Mother said that room was really hot for some reason, so I was wondering if maybe there was a radiation leak or something.
According to Mother, the vehicle bay was destroyed when we left the planet. Shortly after, anyhow. I've been unable to enter it since.
Do the doors just not work, or what's actually happening there?
Yeah, interesting. Mother didn't relay that to us. She
Last
told
update
us
for
the
the
comms and the camera were off, but she said it had a temperature, though, quite high temperature.
last update on the vehicle bay was shortly after the riots, and that's when it was open to space, or so I was told. Sort of a hull breach. I've been
Considering there's a
restricted from entering it ever since.
Considering there's a temperature in there, I'd assume it's not open to space anymore. So someone or something must have fixed it.
Yep.
And being in that goddamn air scrubber shaft was goddamn hot. So I'm thinking it might be something related.
Some blueberries, yeah. I agree
She
with
sort
that,
of
Champ.
nods. I agree with the logic there. Unfortunately, I've been restricted from entering the vehicle bay, the corporate suite, or the captain's quarters.
Speaking of the captain and the captain's quarters, so Flynn, I know you were the head medical doctor. Were you ever approached by the captain for an operation after the whole planet debacle?
He just scratches the back of his right ear. No, not that I can recall.
So I have the captain's journal here, and he seemed to have kind of gone off the deep end, as did the rest of the crew. But in his case, he wanted to make sure that people couldn't get his key card. And it said that he had an operation done. I figured it was by you, but it was not. It was done by Cooper, so says the book. And it was to hide his key card inside of one of his bones so people couldn't get it.
A curious choice. I know the captain had a synthetic hip. It's possible he would have placed it in that. Fortunately, I'm unsure as to why he would go the trouble to hide it.
This was definitely on his downhill. He has a lot of paranoia and other things in here, so he probably wasn't of the soundest of minds when he did that.
I do remember Cooper. Well, never mind. That's all in the past.
Well, I mean,
Don't
Cooper's
stop
not here to
now.
argue anymore. You can tell us his past.
He hid some files from me. I feel there may have been a few more operations that I don't know about.
Any way to pull those up? Would you need his key card off of the rest of him?
Stole his key card once, and I tried using it and it didn't work. I would assume we'd need someone like the liaison.
Oh, like this card here.
His eyes light up. That might give us access, yeah.
Especially with her password, too.
He sort of like raises an eyebrow. How did you come across your password?
Because we have our own corporate liaison. Of course, it was a generic password.
It was probably like one of those things where like you reset your password to like the automated one. It's like you just never change it. It's like Waylon Utani 123. Like, you know what I mean?
Or you have to change your password every 6 months, so you just start switching it to June of the
Oh my
year.
god! So
or...
mine at work, you have to change every 3 weeks. But like, you have to do that for all 5 different systems I'm in. Like one for your email, one for, and I'm just like, oh my god. And the thing is, like, they had different requirements. Like some of them required like you have to put like asterisks or weird stuff like that. And so like it ended up, they're all different now, but similar enough that sometimes my brain's like, okay, what the fuck am I logging into here? Unrelated.
We've all been there at one point or another.
Well, speaking of operations, how'd the X-ray go? Look over at Ada more specifically.
Oh yeah, Flynn got X-rayed. That's right. Ava sort of gives you a I don't know, an android wouldn't give a thumbs up. She said it went well.
Well, not thumbs anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Thumb singular. Yeah. Flynn appears to be clean of any contaminants, except for residual traces, probably from the inoculation.
Let's see what else was on the docket here. So
raise your hand, sort of, obviously verbally, if you think your character knew Leah well.
I mean, literally my character's best friend.
True.
As much as we may not get along when she's cracked out.
Okay.
I think Cham would have known pretty much everybody besides.
I feel like Cham. Yeah. Okay.
I think Wilson's probably like the newest addition to the crew, like just tacked on for maybe the last couple of trips, or hell, maybe just this trip because it's a lot of money for that hydrogen.
Hydrogen that's gone.
Yeah.
What you get for putting a bomb on your transport ship and then letting another bomb interact with that bomb.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. Right?
Yep. Yeah. This is out of character.
Yes.
Because it's not like it matters anymore. But I had an idea for something we could have done before the fucking Montero decided to be dead. Run a space hose from the hydrogen on board over to the Cronus, hook it up to the Cronus's fire suppression system, and use that to heat up and dehydrate the ship to kill off the mold.
Oh, that's cool.
But unfortunately, kind of can't do that no more. So
it's funny. Well, this is out of character as well, but there were no. We'll talk about that after. Sorry, I don't like peeking behind the curtain. So,
Petanambic.
Yes, here we are. Things are good. Leah is feeling great, feeling chipper. Never felt better. Cham has a headache, probably developing a slight cough, and we currently have a plan. So, as I understand it, Flynn, Ava, and Cham for sure are off to Medbay. If anyone else wants to go with them to maybe...
Leah, I think you should go with.
Come on, Leah, let's get you checked out.
I'm feeling well. And I do the tap on the chest with both hands.
Okay, yeah, Leah, I'm really gonna need you to go with them. I just want to make sure you have a clean bill of health.
No, trust me, I'm fine.
Well, if
if need be, I'll go to the pod, but that's later.
Well,
I just want to make sure the
Make
ship
sure they
is
won't stick you too
moving.
much.
So
I mean,
Flint sort of puts his head in his hands. He says, I don't have the capacity nor the strength to argue with Leah here. I've said what I think's best. But if I could have someone else at least accompany me to Med Bay just to help with Cham's inoculation, I've seen it turn ugly.
I'll go.
I'll tell you what, Leah. How about you come with us and see how it works out for Cham, and then we'll see your opinion. Then, all right?
No,
Just you can see.
No. I will set the course for the ship once we get it running. If we get it running.
Well, Cham needs to be checked out before we can get the ship working. Come on.
No, I'm all right. Just after we get everything, then I'll go on the pod.
Come on, Leah. I know you don't like seeing the doctor, but I will carry you if you don't.
If you can catch me.
At first I thought her white blood cell count was high, but it's crack.
You literally are. Your entire bloodstream is like 60% cocaine.
I mean, let's be real here. This is going to be one of the most interesting toxicology reports in the history of humanity.
That's if we can get her in there, yeah.
Cham's gonna put a hand on Leah's shoulder and kind of nudge her out the door.
Nice.
Can I like not budge, but I just go along.
Okay, so you are coming, but begrudgingly.
Yes, but when Chad pushes me, he's basically pushing on the wall.
Oh,
I'm just going along.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. So he's like dragging you basically, but from behind. He's like pushing you, and you're like, shh, like.
Oh, so like if it was the normal crack addict, when I just barely tap her, she'd fly halfway across the room. This time it's like a brick wall.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
A premium shit breakout.
It's a brick house. So the question, are we all going to Med Bay then? Just to stare in awe.
I mean, I don't know. I'm going just to make sure because my crew, clean bill of health, all that kind of crap.
So Ryan Wilson, it's up to you if you want to come to Med Bay to watch the spectacle. If there's somewhere else you'd rather head, something to do. I think at the back of our minds...
I'm gonna guess that Wilson is moving to the water closet.
Okay. Just to wash up.
Right back. Is he checking out his makeup?
I like that. So the sorry, what was I gonna say here? Shit. Yeah, like at the back of our mind, I think we have this slight sense of urgency, like amongst the crew of we need to figure out if we can get the engines running, kind of thing.
And that's why I like get Cham checked out and then get Cham working.
Yeah,
like,
and that's such a fucking captain way of thinking. One of my workers is sick and dying, and I need him to work.
I mean, it makes sense in a crisis, honestly.
No, it does.
This is like fucking triage right now.
Yeah, you and Rye are right now the most important people. Especially Rye, though, because she is like super fucking engineer. Or mechanic, rather. But
yeah, I'm the guy who can drive the lifter. She's the person who can fix anything with a pack of duct tape and chewing gum.
That's right, yeah.
And baling wire. Baling wire is great.
All right, well, Cham, you get... Flynn sort of offers one of the medical tables to you, and he double straps you in. He like puts the one set of straps, and he's like, "Well, you look strong enough. Let's not take any chances." And he puts the second, and he takes a tissue sample from you, and he runs it through the machine. It's like, yeah, well, you're definitely infected. I have been able to locate the Draconis 26 virus in you. It looks like it's advancing. It's attempting to bond with your cells. I haven't seen any signs of mutation as of yet, but that's not to say it hasn't sort of formed into an egg somewhere within you.
Anyway, we could get some scans or
Yeah.
something.
So, actually, do you, Rudy, want to go ahead and make the medical test while Flynn is working on? You can add a +1 to your die, and Flynn is going to give you a hand basically with this, but he's sort of preoccupied getting the inoculation, like sort of prepped, while you're doing the scans on Cham.
Sure.
How are the
medical roll?
Yes, it'll be medical with a +1 your modifier. I think you're
how are
pretty
the
good.
med pods looking there, Raffle?
Ha! I like that.
Nice. There's nothing else to do. I'm just waiting around for a blood test and that shit. Yeah,
So,
just walk down the hallway.
There are 2 medical pods. One of them was, if you want to give me an observation check, but one of them's broken. The other one seems operational. And the medical pods are basically like shitty cryo tube. Nice. So Rudy, you actually discover. Could you roll a d66 for me, Dino? Or sorry, 2d6. I guess is the easy way of putting that.
6 and a 3.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay.
I am dead.
Well, not quite. Okay, and make a stamina roll for me. Oh no. So, yeah, wow, there's a lot of dice there too. So you come and
stats.
you come and you do your scans, and Dr. Johns goes, "Well, there's something in there. There's a mass that almost seems to be moving, and it appears to be like these X-rays, like the one scans like kind of in a real time. It's not like an X-ray. It's more like a heat
Ultrasound.
sensor. Yes, okay, an ultrasound. That's what I was thinking, but I couldn't think of it. And you can see this thing like just slowly moving, almost like a fetus. And it's
Can I push that or?
Yeah, you absolutely could. Yeah.
Reabsorb your twin.
Yeah, and it's sort
There
of
we go.
at the base of your neck. This thing, it almost seems like it's growing rapidly in size, at least rapidly enough that you can, if you blink, it seems like it was a little bigger than it was before. But you don't feel a thing until Dr. Flynn turns around and goes, "Well, when you're ready, Dr. Johns." And he hits you with a big ol' horse needle and injects this thick, it's like a glue, like like glitter glue kind of consistency. And he's just pushing it in. And at first, it just feels uncomfortable. And then you feel a burning. And then make a panic roll for me. You, presumably, nice. Cham holds it steady.
Cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, you're fucking, like, you're sweating profusely, and, like, your arm that's being injected into is shaking, but, like, Cham, he's fucking tanking it. He's like, alright, maybe they put something in your mouth for you to bite down on, but he's just, like, hanging in there. And as we can see there's a bulge that starts getting larger and swelling at your neck, and it bursts. Like, it just fucking explodes. And
I just yell, "Somebody fucking stab it!"
yeah. Yeah, so this small little creature, probably the size of, like, if you put 2 of your fingers together, almost like a gross, like, worm sort of thing, like, flops onto the ground, and it starts, like, trying to slither as fast as it can away. And you have ruptured your aorta.
Nice.
Nice. It's not great. It was very painful for you. We're going to need a medical check here, Rudy, or you could have Flynn do it and help him. But I think since he's the one injecting, it's your job to try and suture Cham up before he dies.
Okay.
He has 1 turn to live. Rolled very, very poorly on that critical.
Raffle.
Mhm.
Observation.
Oh, perfect. I see that. Okay. So you're not
So
gonna.
just a medical aid?
Yeah, medical aid with a plus.
And please push it if
20.
you fail.
Literally life or death right now. Okay. Go ahead and make a panic roll for me, Rudy. Oh my god, everyone's just too cool today. Just fucking Dr.
Puts
John's
on
like,
sunglasses.
he's like, I'm a goddamn biologist. And he grabs his needle and thread.
works.
He's like,
Hang on.
and you manage to stem the bleeding and repair with some synthetic crap that you found that seems to be functional, and you've repaired the aorta, which is a pretty important part of the body. So, thank God.
A little bit.
Yeah, save Cham's life. He's laying there. He's stable. Cham is probably going to be out for about 2 hours, and then he's going to be sore for the whole rest of the shift. You have a -2 permanent stamina. Aside from that, we're not going to have any other penalties.
Okay, so the worm, before we go to the medical pods, but the worm,
Yes.
Somebody fucking stab it!
Yeah.
exactly. Like, where's it at? Can I stomp on it?
Okay, so Ava and Leah are in the room. They could. You unfortunately were checking out the med pod when you heard the screaming.
Oh, right,
and the
yeah, I'm
blood.
not there. I hear the yelling. It's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh.
Why is it every time I leave, shit goes to hell? I leave my
That's
shit
true.
trying to blow up.
So we'll see if Ava, because I mean, Dr. Johns was literally spending every second keeping Cham alive. Ava cannot push rolls. She's an android, so she tries, desperately to like stomp on it, and it just gets away.
Can anybody else hear?
Yeah, Leah, do you
also?
want to make a close combat roll? Try and stomp the fucker.
I was gonna do a stamina roll and try to catch the fucker. No, mobility roll to catch the fucker.
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, I like that.
It starts burrowing into your hands.
It's interesting.
All right. Oh, I missed.
The amount of dice you roll, though. Yeah, well, you grab it, and it's screaming, and it's trying to like burrow into your palm.
Can I just squeeze it just enough so I could like not be able to move?
Or just throw it into a test tube, like a beaker, and turn the beaker upside down.
Okay, yeah.
Yeet the fucker into the wall.
So yeah, we'll say you get it in a container and you close it, but not before, and only you notice this, Leah. It did manage to incise its way through your suit, and when your blood touched it, it hissed. There was almost like an acidic sound.
God, Leah's turning into a fucking xenomorph.
Did my blood like burn the creature itself?
Maybe, yeah, like around the lip, like we'll say there's like a burn. But nobody else would probably recognize it as coming from you, unless you were to say something.
No, I just kept it hidden. Close my palm.
As with the med pod,
Origami's the person in the zombie film that gets bit and doesn't tell anybody.
Doesn't tell anyone. What an asshole. Yeah. So with the med pods, one's completely fine. The other one, there is a thick. What is the like you know the idea of like the blackest black, like the black that makes shit look matte, even or like flat.
Van
Even
the
when
Black.
yeah. So imagine this, and there's a small pool of it in the bottom of the med pod, and whatever was in it broke out from the inside.
That's calming.
Oh boy.
So Flynn says, well, Cham's gonna unfortunately be asleep for 2 hours here. I don't know how he survived, to be honest. He was so far along, and just the blood. But here he is. He'll at least live.
Cham's made of tougher stuff than that. Although, just saying, I'd X-ray him again and see if we're gonna have a round 2.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, so we put him through, and he is completely clean. And let's say we all wait like 20 minutes, and Flynn says, "Oh, let's just wait and make sure the inoculation goes through." And you see, he draws blood from Cham, which causes John's to raise a bit of an eye, and he puts it on a sort of petri dish, and he's looking at it, and he goes, "Oh, thank God, not this time." And he puts a notation down on one of his papers.
Doc, didn't you say the virus hides in blood? We need more tissue, don't we?
Yes. So that's... Yes, I could take a tissue sample again. And
Well, I mean, he's unconscious, not like he can object.
Right. So he takes a tissue sample, and you see, if you watch him carefully, which I assume Miller does at this point, he sort of just briefly sets it down and looks and do kind of thing, right? And he's like, "Oh, it looks great. He's all good to go."
Can I present the jar with the little worm? She's like, "Congratulations, the boy."
And I just groggily say, I hope you're gonna pay child support.
So I offered the jar to the doctor.
Okay, so Flynn takes it, and he says, I almost didn't believe it when you had the other specimen with Dr. Cooper here, but it does seem like, if you look at the size of this after 12 hours, and you look at Dr. Cooper, which, like, how long was he infected? We don't know. Like, maybe a day, 2 days? Like, how fast is this thing growing? We don't know what its limits are.
Maybe it's hungry.
Oh, that's probably true. Eat and poop. That's the two things everything's got to do, right?
In the front, out the back. Well, gonna look over at Leah and just, all right, well, your turn.
I look at was it Sham? He almost died. I'd rather go into the pod.
Well, okay, fine, in the pod. By the way,
Now I have to steer the pilot. Once everything is done, then I get into the pod.
No, you're getting in the pod now. I'm gonna pull rank.
Oh shit! So it's
yeah.
once per act or once per game, which is it? But either way, yes. Captain Miller, is it you take a stress? Is that how it works? I need to read that again. But basically, he can just sort of, like, I think it's once per game, is be like, no, you, and force someone to do what he said.
Yeah. I don't see anything about stress. Oh, wait.
You can use your command skill to order other non-officer PCs and NPCs around, as long as they belong to the same organization as you, to force someone to follow your commands. Roll command against the target's manipulation. If successful, the target must follow your order, even if it means harm or danger to them. Your stress level increases by 1 each time you do this.
Oh, okay. So you make a command, and Origami makes a manipulation.
Oh.
And it looks like it's as many times as he wants.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like once per act or something. But yeah, I mean, eventually
it just increases the stress each time.
Which, in theory, there's a hard cap on.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of the meme of.
Speaking of holy shit, Miller is stressed.
Well, I just tacked on that extra thing of stress, but yes.
Yeah. And sorry, you were saying Origami?
I'm thinking of the meme. I'm no longer friendly with blank. I'm not friends with.
Get in the
Oh,
pod,
fuck.
Shinji, get in the mech.
Leah.
Oh god.
Wow.
It's
Fucking a heart attack from getting in the pod.
Oh, man.
Jesus
Oh,
Oh,
Christ.
my God. I love that.
Get in the fucking robot, Shinji.
Okay. Well, make
Just
it.
starts screaming.
Yeah, make a panic roll for me there, Leah.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. Is there even a chance for Leia to not panic, too?
No, because she rolls minimum 7.
All right.
I get the feeling this is one of those individuals who gets so acclimated to stress and terror that eventually they grow numb to it and just become the most stoic individual in the universe.
No, fuck off.
Cover.
I'm running the fuck out of there.
Well, I mean, technically, though, I mean, you're
seek cover in the pod.
Yeah, because he did order you. Fair, like
Okay.
you're. I mean, so you're
succeeded.
So
You're running away from the scary, angry captain by doing what they say and getting in the fucking robot, Shinji.
Yeah. So origami, check PMs, but you've just activated massive fight or flight. So you do get to lower your stress by 1 for doing so.
We all get a stress point.
Yeah, everyone gets a point of stress in the room to see this.
Am I conscious enough to see this?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Because I was going to say, yeah. Because I feel like this is one of those things where, like, it's just sort of Miller. I assume Miller, like, do you put the gun up and say that?
I mean, like,
how firm was this?
Maybe I'll kind of reach for the gun just as a thing of, like, I'm fucking serious. Just get in the pod, Leah.
Yeah. I kind of, like, I love the idea that, like, the implication here was
like,
so...
I don't want to shoot you, but it is an option.
And I think the panic everyone took was more so, like, the altercation between you guys finally hitting a boiling point, and then also, it, like, the just subtle implication that I will do what I have to do. And everyone was like, oh, fuck. Like,
I will do what I have
like,
to do
this
to
is
protect my
happening
ship
right now.
and crew. Not having my crew turn against me.
You no longer have a ship.
I might not have a ship, but you're still part of my crew, and disobeying orders is mutiny. Mutiny is punishable by death.
Okay.
That one is 100% accurate.
So Leah is
to
now...
say it, but the legality is on his side.
Leah is now locked in the pod, and it's sealing, and you see... Like, Leah's probably, like, pounding on the glass, like, you know, guys, let me out, don't do this, and it's just... She's slowing down her pounding and slowing down.
I just have a physically upset face to Miller.
Miller just stoic, just...
I think Leia doing like a double flip off.
Yeah.
As she's fucking falling asleep.
Alright.
Alright. So I'm gonna...
Yeah, Fox.
Yeah, go Fox.
Some people didn't go in the room too, right?
Yeah, you and Wilson did not go in.
I was thinking, would they want Kayla to be trying to fix the ship while they're doing that?
Yeah, I assume so. Where'd you want to head? So there's 2 things that Kayla right away, without even talking to anyone, knows what a ship needs to function. And you would have run the diagnostics on the Cronus. The engines need repairing, and the comms needs repairing. If you get communications up and running, A, your ship can now communicate properly with the outside, which it's space, it's empty, there's nothing. But B, you could get all your suits linked up and communicating with each other, and then you could be talking to each other all the time everywhere, which would be cool. And C, you can't navigate through space without the comms working. You know, that's also like your radar, and well, space radar, you know, whatever they use. Your astrogation. Yeah. And then, of course, the engine's always very important. So, you know those two things.
Well, comms is up where everyone has been, right?
Yeah.
So I think she'd probably fix that first, because have we even been to the engine area?
No.
Yeah, I don't know if she wants to go to the engine area just yet. Maybe fix comms first, then we can communicate.
So comms, I'm gonna let you know. Rye has done this 100 times before. Perhaps not on a ship this large, but she's still. Well, actually, the Cronus is technically smaller than the Montero, but she wouldn't have been doing repairs on the outside of the Montero, if that makes sense. Except for like very small things, because most of it would be self-contained and require like massive crews. But to fix the comms, you're gonna have to pop out the airlock, do a bit of a spacewalk on top of the ship, and repair the comms. How do you feel about that?
Not very good.
Not great.
Especially if there's a ship lurking around.
That's true, actually. Yeah. Yes, the Geller field. Well, that's up to you. It's up to you whether Kayla would feel confident enough to head out there and do that herself.
Also, I think I interrupted Borrowed, so sorry.
No, that's fine.
No.
Bard was probably thinking about what he was doing next. I know what he wants to do right now. He wants to grab Wilson and go on a little journey. But we're probably going to have a scene here with Kayla. And potentially... I mean, she could wait a bit and have Cham kind of be the guy on the inside watching the screens and like helping walk her through it, because they do this kind of shit together all the time.
I thought I'm unconscious for like 2 hours.
Yeah, that's what I mean when you wake up. Yeah, like she could wait for you.
I'd help out with that.
Yeah, I was just gonna have Dr. Johns and Dr. Flynn come over and basically just kind of do the like presentation thing with both hands towards the pod. Get to work.
Does the med pod have any sort of locking mechanism or like things that we can like stack some boxes on top of it?
Yeah, I'll say you could definitely get it locked for sure. It's like intended, obviously not hopefully keeping people against their will in it, but you know, you don't want the ship to lurch or it to pop open or something. So yeah, we'll say that's locked. So we'll have Rye. Are you just gonna chill where while you wait for Cham, just so I can set the scene? Like in the mess hall.
Well, is there inside stuff that they have to fix too?
Yeah, you could do miscellaneous stuff on the bridge. Probably get that up and running. Do you want to give me a heavy machinery roll? And actually give me one for Comtech as well. At a -1. Oh my god.
Fucking ship's gonna be fixed in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Turning a fucking socket wrench into a fucking torque driver. Just fuck it. Go. When all you have is a hammer, the entire ship is made out of nails.
Damn. Nice. So, this is happening while this next like couple scenes, but LRI basically, by the time you come back to the command station, you won't recognize it. Every terminal has been completely repaired, and the life support monitor now displays the Cronus and Montero crew. At least everyone she knows. She's basically like gone through the list that was handed to her by Miller, and she's just taken people out of the system that seem unimportant, and everyone she has physically seen, she has slapped them up. And there's now, if you're in the command room, you can watch everyone's heartbeats sort of bleep, 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 as long as you're in a suit. If you take your suit off, you know, not being accounted for anymore, but pretty cool.
Way to go.
Damn, yeah. Like, holy fuck, these rolls.
Well, I also kind of imagined she was trying to keep herself busy because she didn't want to think about what's happening to Cham.
That's fair. Yeah. She doesn't actually know that his fucking heart exploded. Probably didn't want to either. Okay, so we have...
I'm just honestly impressed that this thing in my neck was able to sever my aorta.
Well, I'll say the tail was really long.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use shit.
Or maybe it was like the pressure. I don't know.
And
That's
let
just
the
what
logo
you
by
rolled, man.
Christmas.
So we have Johns and Flynn are working on Leah. Cham is unconscious. What do we have Wilson, Miller, and Ava doing? Ava is going to request that while there's enough people in medbay, she's going to head off and try and repair her arm. That's fine.
I wouldn't really want her on her own.
I mean, can Ada talk to us through our suits now that we have comms back on?
No,
Or is this
because that
just...
yeah, we need Rye to repair the big comms up top. Yeah, for that. She can still talk to anyone through the intercoms if she goes up to them, but then it's a one-way, like, you know, it's like doing radio.
Yeah, where's she going to repair this?
She's gonna head down to Deck C, go over to storage. She said there's some spare parts.
Okay, so Cham's on the table. Flynn and Johns are working on Leah.
Lobster PM.
Yep.
I mean, I could go grab Wilson since we're both right here and be like, well, fuck it, let's go look at the corporate suite. We're all just right here on the hallway.
I was actually going to put that point up and note it. Like, I would like to check out the suite and also what we didn't get to do last time.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's literally right up the hall. Like, we're within yelling distance if need be.
It's up to you guys. Are you fine with Ava heading off though, or?
Yeah, just tell her to like keep in touch. Does
Yeah.
Dexy have a comms thing around there?
She said there's at least 1 or 2 intercoms down there she knows at work. So she'll let you know. Shouldn't take her long. So she heads off. And Miller and Wilson were headed to the corporate suite?
Yep.
Okay.
Get around to that since we never did.
Head over there. And why don't you go ahead and, Rudy, give me a medical roll. And then would you like me to PM you information so you can tell other people if you'd like? Or would you like me to reveal it?
Reveal it.
Okay. So again, this is Dr. Johns, right? This is sort of his notes after the fact. He peels off Leah's helmet and you know, taking advantage of the fact that she's sedated mostly at the moment. And she's completely bald. Her skin has become almost pearlescent. Her eyes seem to be just a little more like popped out of her sockets. He takes a few quick measurements of her, and her arms longer in proportion to the rest of her body. She doesn't fit her suit quite as well as she used to. He starts going through Flynn's notes and discussing with him. And none of these symptoms match any of the other symptoms Flynn has mentioned. All Flynn's notes dictate the Draconis 26 virus is having these life stages that we've talked about. There's the egg stage. There is the seed stage as the motes. After that, we have what Flynn has dubbed a blood burster, which we just sort of witnessed with Cham there, and unfortunately with Dr. Cooper earlier. We also...
But Johns would know, though, from Ava's retelling of the janitor. His arms were elongated and stuff.
Yes. And Johns has also seen this in Scilab. But the thing is, none of these match what Flynn has in his notes about the Draconis 26 virus. And so, as Johns is doing some research on the side, he finds a unknown chemical agent in the body. There's traces of the Draconis 26 that appear to have died off. Like, maybe we'll say he finds like a trace of an egg, as if all the cells had made an egg to create a blood burster, and it like died during the process. And we're gonna say you had a pretty good medical aid here. Go ahead and roll a panic roll for me here to see how Johns handles this information, because Leah is fucked up, but perhaps in her drug-addled sort of fugue that she's always in. Okay, that's reasonable. So you lose a point of stress, which is good for you. You've come down, but you have a little fight or flight moment. You panic. You're sitting in the room, your heart's beating, Flynn's beside you, and you don't bring this up to him because you feel like Flynn's may not be completely honest with you. This moment, by doing the research, I mean, you're a super biologist, there are two separate viruses at the moment. There is the virus that everyone has been supposedly infected with that creates this blood burster. And there's a virus that's brought on by an unknown chemical agent. And you look towards Cham's blood. And you look in the petri dish. And that's what's in the vaccine. So it would appear that whatever is in the vaccine it's definitely as a side effect, preventing people from, or rather, it's countering the Draconis 26 virus. But this unknown chemical agent seems to have had an effect on Leah, and you know for a fact it's had an effect on at least two other people. You look at Cham and he seems fine, but Leah was like that for how long before anything happened to her? And it could have just been the chemicals in her blood broke down or combated the Draconis 26. But you have a bad feeling that she got her hands on some of this chemical. And you're not quite sure what it is.
Obviously, her body's so inhospitable due to all the drugs.
Yeah. And as you're your back is to Flynn, you're looking at your notes. You're writing things down. You maybe glance over at the notes he was writing earlier, and you see that there were a few other people that have been marked anomaly in Flynn's notes. Cham wasn't one of them, but next to Leah's name was a question mark, like anomaly question mark. And you hear the breaking of glass. Go ahead and give me a mobility roll there, Leah.
By the skin of her coke-covered teeth.
Yeah. You hear a loud, like, smashing, crashing, glass breaks, and Leah comes tearing through the room on all fours. Yeah, running not unlike an ape. Just fucking Mach 50, like a whirlwind, sort of crashes into you and shoves you against the wall and leaves. And Flynn just turns around and catches a glimpse and begins to scream. She's gone once again. Anyway, over to the adventures of Wilson and Miller. You've come up to the door to the corporate suite.
I think this campaign perfectly encapsulates the absolute chaos and insanity that is a horror story playing out in real time. Because from one chapter of a book to the other, you are now one of the characters in one of the chapters that was judged mundane a moment ago, while absolute hell is breaking loose somewhere else.
Dude, I also love someone makes potentially bad decisions, bad things happen, everyone else gets mad about it.
Origami's a little fucking gremlin.
He is, man.
You know
Well,
it.
he's a big gremlin now. He's getting stronger all the time. All right, so we open the door. Beep beep. We put in Clayton's card. Corporate suite opens. It now has emergency lighting, and you can see some things in it. Wow. Let me tell you this. It was a very spacious area at some point, so you can probably see on the map. Like this is living, if you had to live. However, a bed in the corner of the room is soaked in blood. There's a stench, sort of like an old, bad smell in the room. There's a couch where the cushions have all been ripped open and torn out, and all the other chairs and furniture in the room have been smashed. What do you do?
Perception check would be my first guess.
Okay, yeah, give me an observation roll.
Just opening up the character sheet.
Observation roll while kind of sweeping around the room with the pulse rifle flashlight.
Okay, I like that. Give me your observation.
What do my elf eyes see?
Sheer panic.
Oh my god. Oh my god, okay. So Miller does... I love the fact that Wilson completely beans it and Miller super got it. So we'll start with Miller. Miller's doing like the tactical fucking sweep and like picking things up with the, for the front end of his gun. His pulse rifle, or her pulse rifle, sorry. And you find everything, basically. There's a wall safe that you find behind a painting, and it's unknown code for it. Obviously, you can't even see like fingerprints on it or anything like that. There's a very clean wall safe there. There's also, you sort of flip a wall panel, and there is a wet bar here, but it is smashed. Pretty much all the alcohol has been broken, or is missing. We'll say you find a bottle of scotch that is unopened, although a bit cloudy. There's the walk-in closet. You don't really... yeah, the walk-in closet's in the core. The door to that seems a bit loose, and you sort of ignore that and go, okay, I'll come back to that on the other end of my sweep. And under her mattress, which you notice everything else was sort of torn open, under her mattress and stuffed inside, which is also being torn at the back, you're reaching your hand in there because you thought you saw a lump. You find a pack of illegal stimulants.
Keep those away from Leah.
Yeah.
You see shiny red eyes in distance.
You have alerted the horde.
Yeah. Do you want to roll 1d6 for me there, Borrowed?
I mean, I don't want to, but
Okay, there are 3 doses of stimulants left. It's like a puffer, but for your eyes. How you apply this.
So it's Red Eye from
It's Red Eye from Cowboy Bebop, yeah. I wasn't sure if people
I
would
was trying
get
to think of
that.
what the fuck that was, and
Yeah,
okay, there we go.
I
Two other
wasn't
people
sure.
thought the same.
I was like, keep it a little obscure, but, Okay. Wilson, on the other hand, sees Miller going around going sweep, 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 sweep. And
I
sees,
need a sweeper.
yeah, sees him nudge the walk-in closet. He opens it. He steps inside.
I really want to talk about the fact that looking around went to, I am now usurping control of your motor system. Wah, 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 wah. Door.
It'd be funny
open.
if Wilson got distracted by the dude in his cradle sitting on the desk, and that's why he didn't find anything.
No, do you not want to go in the walk-in closet? That's fine.
If he had said there was a walk-in closet, I would just said, you probably should check that with the gun.
Okay, that's reasonable. Because
that would have been my first guess, as opposed to, I wonder what this is.
Wilson's not armed right now, is he?
Horror movie opens up door.
I have a pistol.
Oh,
but
that's right. You have the
again,
revolver.
It's
or
one
the
of the things,
pistol.
though. He's got a rifle, and the rifle has a light on it.
Okay, so let's say instead,
I'm trusting him way more to check shit out, as opposed to, I've got your bag, which is more of what my little dinky pistol is.
Are you comfortable with checking the walk-in then, with your badass roll?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just fucking sweep that shit.
Okay, that's fair. So Wilson, you basically you get caught up looking at papers on the table, which it's all receipts and invoices and stuff that you understand, but nothing that is important.
Nothing that says 966.
Yeah. And Wilson, and Miller, nudges open, walk-in closet, and the door swings. Like one of the hinges is fucked up. Goes in, immediately starts sweeping the ceiling with his flashlight and his pulse rifle. And you see something for a second. You hear it drop behind you, locking you in. You hear breath behind you. A raspy breath. If you were not in your suit, you'd feel some heat as that licked the back of your neck.
I mean, I would feel some heat until I turned around and tried to shoot the bastard.
Yeah, so why don't we both, you get to make your panic rolls now that you both had happen from your observation rolls. Wow, Miller.
Am I dead? What is that?
No. You shit your pants and run. -1 stress to you, though.
But wait, shouldn't this have happened?
Shit your pants and run, right?
Shouldn't that have happened, like, at the start of the room then? I don't know.
Well, because I was just using that for that scene, because I knew it was going to happen. Like, I knew there was a spooky.
But, I mean, I can't run, though.
That's true.
I'm stuck.
So you're basically, yes, so you want to flee at any available moment. So let's say you run into the far corner and you press against, like, the back of the wall, the walk-in closet.
Fucking Emperor's New Groove, pressing up against the wall.
But you're not like pulling the trigger on your gun yet. You're frozen. You're like you know what I mean. This thing's standing there. It's big. It is quite large and is certainly not your friend. Wilson, however, panicked and dropped something. What kind of things are you carrying, Wilson? I know a gun.
I sure hope it's something other than that.
I hope the gun doesn't have a drop safety shoot fucking thing.
It's just a fucking Glock and goes off.
Hold on, I'm trying to look at my inventory here.
It's a fucking torch. You drop it, it goes full auto.
Who had the corporate key card?
Miller,
I did.
think, yeah.
Well, I've got in my pockets, I have odds and ends. I have one single access card in my pocket.
Yeah.
And I'm holding a gun.
I think it makes sense you drop your gun. The one moment you
much
need
as
it, you
I
panic.
know, much as I know that I don't want to, from the thematics of this and the role, I totally agree.
It does make sense. So Wilson just like he's shaking. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And it falls. This thing is about the size of a man. It's about 6 feet tall, but it's sort of hunched odd. A very bulbous head. Like let me see. I think I have an alien somewhere here.
We roll a D100, and if it's 100, the gun goes off when he drops it and shoots the alien.
Critical hit.
And if it's a
dies.
one, he shoots himself.
Do you
Attack
see
of
this gross
opportunity.
fucking thing?
Oh, it's like someone tried to alienize a
Demogorgon.
pterodactyl.
Yeah, it's gross.
It looks like a collection of noses.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. So, anyway, this thing sort of dropped right beside you.
Fuck.
Use the... Okay. So it sniffs and it breathes heavily and it's staring at Miller. It's staring and it comes closer.
It can't sniff me, I'm in my suit.
And it comes closer.
Do I have any option to try and retrieve the firearm I've dropped, or am I still panicking?
I'll say that you stop panicking when you see it gets right up next to, like, it's pressing its face against the glass, staring in at Miller's face, like they're just fucking like connecting on some level almost, right? Like, I mean, they're not, but it's it's like just pressed up there, and then it turns around and it sees Wilson and it starts running at you. Make a mobility roll to pick it up.
Okay, mobility. Roll. Well, that's a success, I think.
Yep, that's good. Okay, you've picked up your gun. I will give you one shot before this thing comes in on you.
Question, the room. Can you describe anything nearby that might be of interest to me in this current situation? I'm looking for exposed electrical panels, a fire extinguisher, convenient place of dynamite. Something.
Well, this room actually, you will see. No, pretty much there's nothing. Like, there's just a bunch of fucking garbage on the ground. There's like a table you might be able to like flip behind or something, but this thing's probably more agile than you are.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You said it's about the size of a man, 6 foot plus, with it being hunched over.
Yeah.
When you described it, you didn't exactly tell me how spindly or reinforced the legs are.
Okay, that's fair. So, like, it has muscle, but the skin is stretched thin. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it almost looks like, what's the word for that? Like, shit. Like it's muscular, but like there's like no body fat.
So the dehydrated.
I'm gonna have to take a shot at one of the legs.
Yeah, that's fair. So, going for the leg. We're
immediately following a dive for that fucking table to try and interpose it between me and the thing.
okay. Give me a. I think it's called range combat. It probably has a
Range
fancy
combat.
name. Yeah. Sweep the leg. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna say you already panicked, so you probably don't have to panic here.
Also, just random thought here, but as the shot is echoing out in the room, am I allowed? How do manipulation checks work?
Okay. What are you trying to manipulate? Like who?
Well, I'm trying to find that damn page. That's probably why I've been a little bit quiet. I'm trying to find my character's ability, which was to inspire or order someone. It was.
I can. That's when attacks are made against you. I'm pretty sure. Let me pull it up.
I was going to try. I wanted to try and see if I could
Oh.
snap. I wanted to see if I could get Miller to snap out of it and shoot the damn thing.
No, it
I was
actually.
about to ask if I could try and shoot once it started running away from me.
So it's
Like,
it's actually you have someone take a hit for you. So it would be
Oh.
saying Miller jump it like in front of this thing basically. Or,
No, I don't need that.
well, not yet.
Yeah,
but-
let's get the man with the ranged weapon, the best ranged weapon, to melee combat with it.
I mean, that would be a very corporate schmooze thing to do.
Yes, but
So
I'm also panicking right now, so it's kind of like shoot the damn thing.
Yeah. I know.
I think that's a very human response, fight or flight.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So your thing is, if another person's within short range of you, which is the same zone, and you get attacked, you can make a manipulate roll that if you succeed, the other character gets hit instead of you.
Which is pretty fun. That could be useful.
Just duck behind the robot, not one of us.
Duck behind Cham when he's back up and running.
Hey man, I'm still missing health.
That's
That fucking
true.
grandma beat the shit out of me.
That's grandma fucking chumped you. I'm gonna say actually because you're in care, even though you ate shit, but because they're looking after you for the next like 2 hours, maybe like bump a point of health up.
Okay.
But anyway, so this thing, it's running at you. You're gonna get a shot. It goes, and then Miller goes.
Okay.
Okay. So you hit it, and your pistol does 2 damage, I believe.
What kind of pistol is it?
Just standard.
Standard.
9mm. Or is it a 10?
Fallout's 10, I believe.
That's the weirdest damn thing. Did I not enter the information for the firearm into my gear?
Oh,
the EVA pistol's 1 damage, but I don't know. Here's the revolver. The revolver is 2 damage with a +1 bonus.
Let's see.
To hit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hang
So
on.
you actually roll 1 more dice, Zelphus.
Oh yeah,
haven't
did
rolled
Zelphus
any yet,
have the
so-
service pistol or revolver? What do you have?
The service pistol.
Service pistol, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 1 damage with a +1 bonus.
Okay, so
So you want
roll
me to roll a
1d6. If you get a 6, okay, that's fine. So, so you do hit it, and it's like the shot like glances off the bone or something. Like you might see like a little chip on a knee, but it doesn't seem to slow it down at all.
boy, I'm in trouble.
Oh, yes, you are. That's bad. Okay. Well, and let me get. Yeah. Okay. You just see how bad that is. So how monsters work in this game, or enemies, it's a bit odd. They have a table, and you roll on the table to see what attack they do, and then that tells you how many dice. Okay.
It apparently rolled pretty well.
It rolled, yeah. He only
I
has.
figured with a 5.
So one of his attacks is. It's not quite an instant death, but it's not good. So, I'm gonna give you a chance to block this. So you're gonna make a close combat roll.
Do you want me to do it with the table or the firearm?
Oh, that's kind of fun. You're deflecting it with your body, like with your hands. You're throwing it up or whatever. Well, it could potentially be better.
Be worse.
Yeah. So
I know.
give me a close combat roll, and you have to roll at least 1 success. Okay, cool. Let's chill. So go ahead and roll d6 or roll 2d6 for me. And
He rolled 2d6 twice.
Oh, did he? Okay, well, I'll just use the first one.
That's fair. 6.
That's reasonable. So you managed to deflect it right as this thing comes for your throat. It was like about to just bite and tear your throat out, and you manage to shove it up. And as you do, your jaw cracks and several of your teeth fly out. So you take a point of damage there.
Ouch, yeah.
All right.
And you also take.
Sounds like popcorn inside of his helmet.
All right. Quit making it worse, bro.
minus 2 to your manipulation until you can have your teeth put back in and don't sound funny.
You can't convince people to let you hide behind them anymore because you're broken teeth.
Yeah. That would be funny, yeah. I would have jumped in front of you,
In
sir,
fact,
but
if we took the second roll, you would have lost an arm.
hey. Yeah, no, I mean, I'd love how just one of the things is like, oh, if this hits, you rip their throat out. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Jesus. All right. Well, Bard, it's now Miller's turn.
Miller is just gonna level the fucking pulse rifle and hold the trigger until it goes click.
Okay, I like it. So full auto.
Perhaps you would like to aim. Just a suggestion, considering that you have 2 targets in the line of fire here.
Well, depending on where you are, like, is he in the
It's-
line of fire?
I just uppercutted the thing to make so it wouldn't take my fucking throat out. It's right in front of me, ass.
Yeah, but if we're in an L shape, then you're not directly in the line of fire.
That's for the
Because
DM to
currently we're
decide.
in an L shape.
Let's just hope your guy knows how to shoot.
Okay, so your pulse rifle is +1 to hit, is it?
Yep.
Okay, so you add that, and give me your roll, and +2 if you're full autoing. Are you gonna full auto?
Yes.
Okay, so +3 dice then.
Just fucking
yeah. Your Hudson,
Predator,
buddy.
just mowing down the
that too.
jungle with the minigun.
Oh yeah, okay. I guess that's more fair. Wow. I mean, you hit. Pulse rifle's 2 damage?
2, yep.
Okay. So you can either do 4 damage, or you could do 3 damage and like knock it down or something like that.
Was that with the bonus from the pulse rifle too?
Yeah. Oh, also +1 stress, sorry, for full auto firing.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say like 3 and knock it down or knock it aside just to further help get it the hell away from Wilson, because having 2 people, even though I might not like the second person as much as other crewmates, having 2 people to fight a monster is better than having 1.
It's true.
You know, hatred doesn't matter at the moment. It's literally life or death.
Yeah. All right, and it resists all of the damage. Wow.
Nani?
Yeah. It's just
It
thudding
rolled a
into
1
it.
and a 6. Like, what?
Well, for armor rolls, a 6 is a success.
So the M41 pulse rifle is also considered armor piercing. Does that do anything?
Oh yeah. Armor piercing. Shit. Hang on. I think that cuts it by half.
Yeah. Comment armor piercing full auto.
Okay, hang on. Son of a bitch. It's on one of these pages. Sorry.
You can tell it's a good question when the DM goes silent and you hear papers in the
Oh
background.
yeah, it's the worst. I hate that so much. Like some of these things are like it should be obvious, but it's like in my head I'm like it's probably like half, but they don't have like a separate spot for it though. It's like an addendum, I think, on the pulse rifle. Something. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it halves armor. I think that seems to make sense to me. Let's see, alien, RPG, armor piercing. It'd be cool if it just straight up went through armor in this case. But
I mean, it depends on how tough the armor is, because those rounds, as we went over before, are supposed to be like armor piercing, explosive, blah blah blah. So
right,
it like
yeah.
punches through the armor and blows up afterwards.
like the lore on it is that they're less effective against unarmored foes because they overpenetrate. So I'm thinking that this is gonna just go straight through the armor, you know.
But it all depends on how it's written.
Word,
Because
yeah.
Okay, I'll go ahead and say that it. We'll just say it gets rid of armor. That seems fine. I can't find it anywhere. Oh, hang on. A summary. Please. Oh, never mind. Fucking come up.
I mean, the default ammunition for the M41 is armor-piercing explosive.
Yeah, I think like
Selfist.
I think I'm fine with saying it straight up just gets rid of armor because that makes sense in lore, and it's way easier than like I'm literally going through the book right now, and then I googled it and nothing came up. So
Yeah, I'm trying to help you Google it too.
yeah, and that's fine. So let's just say it just if it has armor piercing, their armor doesn't work. That seems fine. We only have one armor piercing weapon anyway, and this combat looks like it may be very difficult otherwise. So I think that's I think
get
that's totally
fucked, you
fine.
big pink asshole.
Yeah. So yeah, you hit him for 2 points of damage. So that yeah, it goes like blood flies out and all that kind of stuff. 3 points of damage, right? You hit him for? Yes, because you deal 2 base plus 1, and you knock
And then
him
I
down.
tried to trip him or whatever.
Yeah, so he's like let's say it like blows like a chunk out of his side and it like skids over and it falls and it flails on the ground. Wilson, it is your turn.
So I've just knocked its head up and away from taking off my jugular. I've sustained serious damage to my mouth and jaw.
Yeah.
Am I still locked in combat with it, or can I disengage to put some distance between it?
Oh, you can
And
fucking run if you want to run, yeah.
I can't talk to
Yeah.
can't talk to Bill because my mouth's all fucked up.
So
I need you to help me.
So you can full on sprint towards medbay if you want. Or you could run up to the bridge, or you could run wherever. But basically, if you look at the map, if you full sprint, you can move like 2 of these. You can either get to here or here.
Sorry, I had to minimize one of the open tabs here for my guy. Go ahead and ping the first one again.
Oh, you can either go to the living area or this hallway. You can basically get through like 2 areas.
Where's the table in the room?
It's let's say close to you. I think
like
you would
here or
yeah.
here?
Yeah. We'll say it's like right here.
All right, so it's turning towards him.
It's turned towards Miller who got him.
Take the table, and I'd like to try and see if I can foul its legs up. I throw the table into its legs as it's moving to run towards him.
Oh, okay, I like that. So you're trying to like crack it with the table? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to slow it down so he can shoot the fucking
Yeah,
thing.
give me a close combat roll.
With
I
the
thought it fell
table?
over after I shot it.
No, it's on the ground. But I mean, Zelphus is saying so this thing's gonna try and get up, so he wants to like break its legs, like finish it off. Nice. Okay, so it will roll armor for that. We'll say the table does.
Mahogany table versus exoskeleton. I don't think the table's gonna come out the winner here, Chief.
Yeah, unfortunately, it
Not
didn't.
just any mahogany, but the mahogany from Melchior 7.
The stupid thing too is this is meant more for entanglement rather than damage. So I'm
But
totally fine with it being like fuck all.
Yeah, if you had to roll 2 successes, you could push it if you want and take a stress. And then you can use it to basically like pin the thing. If you,
I'll push it.
Okay.
I'm already wounded.
So
I'm
add
in
your
terror.
stress first and then push it, or re-roll combat.
So roll for stress, or just tack on a stress.
Just tack on a stress, yeah.
All right, we're up to 5. All right, so then
You do
roll
your close
another
combat
close combat
again, yeah. But you get to keep that 1 success from before.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. Well.
Fuck it, push it again.
Oh, you can only push it once.
Oh, it's running on a crack addict.
Yeah, that's right. Only the crack addict can push it twice.
It's like, what do I do in this situation?
So
How do I?
this was like Wilson using his like adrenal strength, right? Like, you know, that he like grabs the table and he smashes it and it doesn't work and he's like, "Oh, fuck this." And he smashes again, but it's like he's just not strong enough. And if you kind of thematically that works cuz your strength right now is nothing and your close combat is nothing, but like you're literally all the dice you rolled were stress related. Like you're just amped up adrenaline and it turns just fucking hisses an awful ear piercing wail at Wilson. Oh dear. Oh, armor piercing half's armor. Okay, so there we go. Now we know. It's funny because it was literally on the page with the alien. It's the alien. This is an armor piercing attack. Not that it matters. Would you like to roll to die?
Sure. What do I roll?
Yeah.
How many D6s?
You're gonna roll close combat for me. Or yeah. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's 3
So
stress.
make a panic roll.
That's no, it's not 3 stress. That's 3 failures. You have to.
Okay. And then roll 2d6. 23. I feel like we just had this one.
Broken
that's
hand.
cracked jaw again, right?
Yeah.
Broken hand.
No.
Broken hand. Oh, okay. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and say because this thing is well, and sorry, you have to roll it one more time as well. The 2d6.
45 is not a good one.
No. Okay,
Bleeding gut.
so it flicked you with its tail, and it cracked your hand, and then the tail just impaled you right through the stomach, or the gut, so just below the stomach, I suppose.
So it's in
the
the
tumbleweed,
intestinal.
so to say.
Yeah.
It gave you a new belly button.
Basically, if you're not patched up within, you have one shift, so 8 hours to survive. Thankfully, we have a med bay. Unthankfully, somebody stole all the fucking actual medicine from it, but we have sutures and stuff like that. You will have no anesthetic. But you're laying there out of the combat, just bleeding out, Wilson. Your eyes glistening over. Miller, it's your turn.
Oh boy.
Gonna full auto again?
I mean, yeah.
What exactly does full auto do? Does it just give you more attack rolls?
It
or
increases
what?
your stress by 1, and it gives you +2, like dice. And then also, you can use additional successes to hit other targets. Like you don't just have to hit the one.
Am I passing out, by the way?
Well, you're fading in and out, but
Oh my,
oh my god.
Really?
Okay.
You push that?
Really?
Or you're not allowed to push panics?
Okay. Well, the good news, you can't push a panic. It blows through the last bit. Like let's just say it's like its head explodes as you aim it, because it only blocked 1 of your 3 damage coming in, and you're just like, and like you're just unloading, right? Like that horrible alien sound effect. Somebody get the clip of like one of those guns going, because I just love that sound. Like the
Yeah,
it's,
it's a gun.
It's like the best. Like it's just, and it's like you see the counter like going, and it's like, and it just, you're still holding the trigger, and it's going click 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 click.
Zelphus PMs.
technically, it's caseless ammunition, so it wouldn't make a
Lobs.
clicking noise.
Oh, that's reasonable.
Lobster PM. Oh my god. Made a
Oh,
mistake.
that's fair. Well, hang in there, Origami. Don't fall asleep yet. So, but yeah, unfortunately, in this game, if you roll a panic while gun, you expend your magazine.
That was our only mag. Oof.
I have a question.
I have a sarcastic answer.
Okay. My question is that stuff that I did all set up at this point? Because if so, I probably would know that someone needs some help down there.
So, and that's the thing. So Rye, she's like, you're wiping the sweat off your brow. You're looking back and you're like, damn, like, look at me. I still got it. And you hear the screams, you hear the gunfire, you hear the carnage, and you start running.
Hear like 80 rounds being dumped.
Yeah.
With the fucking Rambo scream going on too.
Yeah. Ah! This is for my ship, motherfucker. Yeah. So, Rye, you've now shown up. You see an alien. You see Wilson on the floor, bleeding out. You see Miller standing over him.
I sincerely hope you don't draw the wrong conclusion, considering there's a tail embedded into my fucking abdomen.
Are we,
Rye, that's on you.
Well, first things first, if it popped up that there was like issues, am I able to contact Medical Bay? Because I think she would send a message to them first.
Okay, like, so you smash the intercom button and you're like, get a doctor over here kind of thing?
Yeah, like we mean medical.
Okay, that's
and then
fair.
run down there.
Okay, so we'll say they also show up and they're like, holy fuck. Like, you didn't want to try and fireman him over? Actually, I'm going to say, hang on. Flynn, when he hears that, he calls out, little busy with problems in medbay. And I don't want to leave Cham after his surgery. So, which one of us do you want to go?
I mean, Flynn's the actual medical doctor as opposed to just biologist.
Okay, so we'll leave Dr. John Cham.
I was gonna say, honestly, she would have yelled that and then ran, so it would have been up to them, basically, discussed between the two of them.
So Flynn and Dr. Johns are sitting there, and Flynn turns to you, Rudy, and he's like, well, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Sevis?
No, that's Rudy.
Rudy.
I just got back.
Oh, sorry.
Rudy stepped out to the pooper.
Oh no, did he miss the combat?
Yep.
Oh dear. Well, anyway, Zelphus is basically dead. But we'll see.
He's bleeding.
Zelphus has a second
He's only
belly button.
mostly dead.
He's only mostly dead. He has 3 critical injuries. It's fine.
Only 3. Oh boy.
Well, the thing, I really like how thematically this is, because Wilson, even though Wilson and Miller don't like each other, there's a mutual respect, I feel, that has been growing between the actions of what we've been having to put up with and endure. And I like to think that this was the one time in Wilson's life where he had a choice, a binary choice of stay or run. And in the last second, even though it is very ill-advised, Wilson tried to do the right thing and save another human being from being killed. Even though he's probably regretting the fuck out of it as he's bleeding on the ground, gripping his stomach, I still think that's a really cool development for Wilson's character. It's just kind of like, why the fuck did I do that? And think, like, trying to figure out what the motivations were behind that, what made him do that, being a very self-centered person, and kind of like having to debate with that while also having to deal with the excruciating pain in his gut and ricocheting around his jaw. Even if he dies, I still think that's an incredible like end for that character.
Yeah, it was pretty good, yeah.
That just means I get to sit back with popcorn and watch the rest of y'all try and survive this, though. So, save me if you can. Otherwise, good luck.
Save me if you can. Starts dying faster.
All right.
Hey, asshole. Hold F. Hold it.
Hold your fucking gut, goddammit.
All right, well, we're going to have him, Flynn do it. All right. So Flynn discards bloody gloves and grabs another pair of slightly less dirty bloody gloves and gets to work. And after a bit of suturing, He like opens the med kit and he's like, I swear I had morphine in here. Wow, this is gonna hurt. Make a stamina roll for me, Wilson. Let's see if it's
the
just
lovely
too,
sound of the medical staple gun
much.
stapling skin.
Yeah. You want to push that for a stress?
I've added the stress.
Wilson is on his way to a heart
Stamina.
attack, but Cham had something attack his heart. You're having a real heart attack. Nice. All right, go ahead and make a panic roll for me there. But the thing is, you stabilize, and I think this is fair. You've frozen. You're just Jesus Christ. So everyone in the room gets a
Jesus
point of
Christ.
stress. So Kayla, Miller, and Flynn all get a point of stress. Just watching him, basically, like you bought the ghost. Like you were out of this world for a brief moment there, and then you shook yourself back, and you're like, not today. You know, that was basically like your re-roll. Like it was Wilson. Like this is it. I'm done. And he's like, no,
Out of body experience.
I've got something to do. What you have to do,
I
that's
need to
up
get
to
my
you. But
paycheck.
exactly. Like I got to get to the bottom of this. I got to, get, payment for this. I have to get my crew out of here. I need to
this is great though, because if that's what you're doing, Raffle, this gives my character one of the most basic, comforting, and empowering motivations that any human through history has ever had. The will to revenge.
I kind of like that. I kind of like you
I
want
went
to
from being
see
a corporate individual trying to do just his job, trying to get his payments so he can retire or at least advance in life. Get out of that gutter that he's in. This dead end, nowhere, do nothing job. Then one horror after another. Everything else, as people are being injured and dying, and the ship's blowing up. We might be stranded out in space. And then at the end of the day, even after all of that, which should have been pushing me to run and say, fuck it all, put myself first. The one good deed I did, and it almost killed me for it. And why? Because these fucking aliens and this stupid disease that is on the ship, and I don't even know why. I'm going to fight back against that bullshit if I ever live through this crippling injury to my abdomen. And as they're dragging me to medbay, the last sight I see as the door is being passed out on my field of view is that exploded, perforated body that Wilson just absolutely destroyed.
Miller.
And sorry, Miller. Miller
Yes.
decimated with the gun. I did. No. Sorry.
All the credit.
Sorry, Baro. And just like that little smile of satisfaction that the fucking alien bit it before I did, and then passing out.
Love it. Oh man. Well, you make it. You're also right next to Cham and Medbay, just fucking unconscious for the next little period. We'll say in 2 hours you're both good to go. Oh, sorry. Oh boy, I know. Okay. So, wow, what a scene. Now, are we gonna hop to Rye trying to fix the comms? What do we rip about? Sorry. Forgot me. But are we gonna cut over the Rye trying to fix the comms with Cham once he's up? Are we gonna continue exploring? What are our thoughts?
Hey, he's back.
Hey, that was great.
Alpha, what happened, please?
Oh,
I'm
actually,
guessing the stream died, right?
no. Stream's fine. Discord logged itself out.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like
What?
Probably because you haven't updated it in like 6 months.
probably what happened. Yeah, it logged out on my phone, and I went and replied to something. I was like, oh okay, and then I started talking, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh rip. Oh yeah, Discord logged out.
Okay, well, we carried on from your conversation that you started. So Wilson's in the med bay
Okay.
on the table next to Cham. Then what?
Oh, right. So I just want to know, like, so what's on our docket now? Where are we headed? Who's taking the next scene and in what direction?
Who's about to almost die next?
I want to check the EEV room with the card password.
Okay, so that's actually just a walk-in closet.
What?
Yeah, the EEV room is the walk-in closet.
I thought the little hallway up here was the walk-in closet.
Oh no, it's the EEV room is the walk-in closet. Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta accessorize with your evils creatures.
Okay, well, where's the cryopod?
Like
Where's the escape pod? Where's the corpo was supposed to be in their cryopod in this room. Where's the cryopod?
Well, she was actually in the cryopod in cryo 2. I want to say.
I thought you said she had her own cryopod in her suite, is what the computer told us.
So she did. But we discovered that she was actually not in that one, right? I swear to God. I swear to God, you guys went and you looked at the cryo things and you saw her name.
Lori Clayton.
Yeah.
But I assumed that she would have been in here just because Mother wasn't like updated for that then, but
so let's say, I mean, Miller's searching, right? Like, this is like a deep search.
Trying to figure out what the hell just happened, yes.
Okay, so is it just Miller by herself? Has Rye gone to help Miller look? What's Rye up to?
That depends if Rye was even invited along.
Actually, I'll say in this room you noticed undisturbed by the other two. There's a full bottle of scotch just chilling.
Who noticed? Just Rye?
Well, the other two noticed, but they didn't pick it up. So Rye could probably see that on the bar and be like, needs a little alcohol, who knows? Maybe at the end of the shift. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to invite yourself into Miller going in the closet, otherwise, it's whatever Rye feels like she needs to go do.
Well, the closet right here where they're at.
Yeah, right here.
I mean, I guess if she's already here, she might as well look with you.
Okay, so you guys are looking. Neither of you are really sure what you're looking for until your foot catches on something. And one of the floor plates is a bit loose.
It could be anything. It could even be a boat.
Yeah, well, I mean, since the pulse rifle's empty, sling that back over my shoulder, take out my sidearm, and try and nudge the tile aside with that thing's barrel.
Okay, so you nudge it aside, and it is a very thin, like a person, an average-sized person would squeeze through this opening, but it's a ladder going down.
Oh boy. Can I, like, see anything at the bottom, or is it just black?
Yeah, there's sort of odd yellow lighting, not unlike Mother's room.
Oh boy.
Oh god, is there a secondary AI on this fucking...
No, I couldn't do that to you. That'd be a bit much. That'd be fun, but it'd be a bit much.
I'm gonna look over at Rye and just... does that look like a maintenance shaft to you?
It does not.
It looks like a death trap.
Miller first, right?
Right. How long ago was Nom? Because it looks like Nom.
It's one of the fucking tunnels that they would dig.
Yeah.
You and a tinny attenuated Fortunate Son playing somewhere in the distance.
Mother starts playing Fortune Son. But we're gonna walk in the closet. Can I like grab a shoe and drop it down the hole?
Okay. You drop it down the hole, and it clatters on the ground. You can see it hit the ground. It probably goes down about 12, 13 feet, something like that.
But nothing reacts to insert shoe.
Give me an observation roll.
Are you ready to see yellow, kids?
Nice. Oh my god. You are so stressy.
Yeah, like everybody else is
Yeah,
getting the
exactly.
fucking panics where they get to reduce stress. I'm just getting up.
Yeah, well, you do hear a shuffle on there. Like almost as if there was a bit of a reaction from something.
Okay, I'm just gonna yell down the hole. Identify yourself or I'm dropping a grenade next.
There's silence.
Let's drop another shoe.
I love that.
If this is a female business person, there are like 30 pairs of shoes in this fucking suite.
Yeah. Give me a manipulate roll. Like to spook them. Okay. So, oh my god, just the amount of fucking stress. Oh my god, see, you drop another one. It's just complete silence.
Like, no response at all.
No, you don't even hear movement this time.
Alright, just yell down the hole. Alright, lied about the grenade. Last chance.
Just silence.
Turn to rye. Cook it.
Oh, I like that. That's fun.
Because it's a fucking pipe. Just stick the flamethrower down there and cook it.
Yeah, that would get some range there too.
Yeah, that's super fun. All right, Rye, you're firing down there?
She says, aye, aye, Captain, and does a salute.
Okay. So you fire, and it's like the whole thing is just engulfed in fire, and you start hearing a klaxon. You start hearing the sound of like a fire suppressant system sputtering and attempting to go off, but the power isn't working.
Thank God it isn't.
And you hear scream, an awful blood-curdling scream, and you see a figure running towards the ladder and trying to climb up. A very visibly on fire and burning figure.
Does it happen to look like the resident crack addict?
No, that would be funny though. She beat you in there. Oh yeah. But they make it. Say they make it about halfway up and then fall and collapse. Their breathing becomes like haggard. They're just a charred suit on the ground, struggling for breath.
Got a rough OPMs.
Yep.
I'm just gonna look down at him. I gave you a chance, you stupid bastard.
Yeah, I mean, they only have themselves to blame. Hiding an event,
That's fair, yeah.
ignoring repeated fake grenade drops into the vent.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
It's just a coffee carafe banging
Like-
down the line.
Yeah, like if they moved away from the quote unquote grenade, it would have been like, okay, probably a person. If they moved towards the quote unquote grenade, okay, probably an alien. You don't do either? I don't know. Fuck you, die.
No, that's fair. I think that's reasonable.
Basically, you should have yelled "frag out" when you dropped the shoe.
Yeah. No, when he said cook it, like that was good. Yeah, there's a paint shit.
Pump them. Drops a pump.
Nice. So what do we do with it? Crawl down?
I'm looking down at them, waiting for any sort of response.
Oh, they're just struggling to survive at this point. They're fucked. Like in that close quarters, like yeah. The room is also probably still sputtering fire, but not. I mean, it's like it's burning out, but
They didn't have a suit on or anything.
they did, but it wasn't enough. Like it was like
It wasn't rated for a flamethrower.
yeah, it wasn't asbestos suit or nothing.
It was rated for cold of space, not flamethrower.
E for everything.
I'm gonna turn to Rye and just say, go get Ada.
Oh, that's fun. Okay.
Probably just slam on that console.
Slam on the intercom, yeah.
there.
So Ava says, I'm a bit tied up at the moment. I'll be up shortly.
She's physically tied up
Yeah.
right now.
I'm gonna wait for Ada to get here and send her ass down there. I ain't crawling no tiny damn pipe.
So, how long do you wait?
How long is it taking Ada?
As long as you wait, you don't hear from her.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm only gonna wait like a couple of minutes, and I'm gonna go hit the intercom again. Just Ada, we kind of need you up here.
My services are required elsewhere at the moment, Captain. Is this important?
Who's requesting your services? Because we need them too.
Someone with higher clearance than you.
God, I hate fucking computers in the alien universe. This shit's infuriating.
Ada, where are you?
I'm still on Deck C.
Ada, is the person you're with part of the crew of the Cronus or the Montero?
I'm not with anyone currently.
Who were you with? Were they part of the crew of the Montero or the Cronus?
I was contacted by a member of the Cronus.
So who's higher than a captain of a ship besides the other captain, right?
I mean, yeah, in military ranking.
Oh yeah, I guess. Right.
Okay, Ada, what are you supposed to be doing that you can't get your ass back up here?
Preparing for our departure.
Who's are? Everyone on board or just them? That's what I want to know.
Ada, you were supposed to repair yourself and report back up here.
I've currently been unable to locate my arm, and my priorities have changed slightly, Captain.
Might take this insubordination as mutiny. Ada?
My priority 1 is still to ensure the safety and well-being of human life. Is any of yours in danger?
There is a human life in danger here, yes. We have what I believe a member of the Cronus crew who has been quite gravely wounded in the corporate suite.
Then I'm on my way. And 5 minutes pass. You're hearing clang, clang, clang. In another 5 minutes, and Ava 6 shows up. Still missing
Pops
an
out
ear.
of the vent.
That would be jokes. That would be jokes. I can't seem to move. I'm on fucking fire.
I'm sorry, Captain. I've been injured while attempting to repair myself. Ada, what the hell? All right, well, since she's finally here, I'm just going to kind of gesture to the poop chute. Be like, your friend is down there. I wasn't sure if they were an alien or not because they would not identify themselves nor come out. So if they are still human, we've gravely injured them. If they're not, you can leave them down there.
Your actions have been noted, Captain. I'll retrieve them. She heads down the tube, gets to the bottom. I'm not sure moving them will help much. They seem to be on the end.
Are they still human, albeit injured? Or have they started to mutate?
They seem human to me.
Who are they?
They've been
Yeah.
horribly disfigured and their suit is charred. Can't identify the body. You hear like a
Does
gasp.
DNA exist in the alien universe as like a sequenceable thing, or
I think it is, but it's like I don't know if Ava would have any capability of doing that. But like,
Nah,
there's a
she's
full
like,
science lab though?
yeah, like Flynn. I mean, Flynn could just take a dental record.
Hmm.
But she's anyway. So Ava's like, they're attempting to speak, Captain, but it's quite weak. Shall I bring them up to you or record it?
Record it. If they're this gravely injured, we probably should not move them.
Okay. So she leans close to them. Period of time passes, and she comes up top, and you see them just like they just sort of like fade away, eyes close. She comes up. I think they've passed, or at least there's nothing we can do for them.
Angry meowing.
Oh yeah, you hear that? Poor kitty.
All right. What was their recorded message?
She sort of like her eyes shut off for a second, turn back on, and then you hear like, you know, sort of a played recording. In the background of the recording, you hear the sound of tapes and whirring, clicking, but the actual voice, it says, Ava, you have to get back at them for us. Don't let Flynn out of here. You the whole time. She stares at you. The voice sounds familiar. Pause. I believe it was Captain Khalid.
Okay. Ava, if I can have you retrieve the captain, if they have passed, we can go enter their body in the
We can
bay.
enter their body. I mean,
Enter, you shit, but yes.
but that too.
Also, probably their fingerprints are still intact.
Well, also their
Likely.
leg bone captain key card.
Oh yeah.
So she grabs the body and she can't. She only has one arm.
Well, get
He
a
just
rope or
fucking
something.
fireman carries it.
Like up a ladder with one arm. That's fucking savage.
He's a robot.
Literally
You don't give a
robot.
fuck.
I guess, yeah. We'll have her make a strength roll anyway. Who knows?
Also, fucking Flynn's reaction when we dump this on the other
Jesus.
operating table.
I don't know how she does it, but throws him over like her shoulder and her whole body's like twisted and she's like scraping up against the sides of this tunnel as she pulls herself up. But she gets the body up, mostly intact.
Does the head fall off or something?
No, there's like
Jesus.
tissue like scraped all on the inside of the tunnel.
Okay.
Ooh, gooey.
Mm.
Plops them down.
Alright, well, let's go bring them to medical. Not that it'll help their condition, but somewhere to put the dead.
Alright. So we've dropped them off and Flynn immediately. Oh my god, what happened to them? Who is this? Was this it's not Leah.
No. This Ava said might be the remains of the captain. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Flynn. All right, you want to sit down?
If, sure. He sits on a little wheelie chair. Looks at you.
Point the guns at him.
Yeah. At Flynn, yes, but no. Okay, so tell me, did you know the captain was alive?
Yes.
Did you know the captain came out of cryo?
No, but I had suspicions.
Okay, well, that was the captain.
He was unstable. He went mad shortly after the riots. We locked him, well, we thought we locked him in his quarters, and turns out we somehow ended up switching him with Oliver. We lost track of him, and the last I knew is he had figured out some way of getting into the corporate suite. He had it in his head that, I don't know, that our liaison had a separate escape pod, that she had a way out. I don't know if any of that's true, but I was aware, at least in the plans, that they were installing a cryo tube for her in her suite. So we assumed he found that and locked himself away in it.
Well, I'm going to guess that would be true, because he doesn't seem mutated, what's left of him, but he didn't cooperate. He didn't respond to a command. He didn't respond to a threat. He didn't respond to anything other than violence. So I figured perhaps he was mutated. You know, he, she, they. At the time, I didn't know what.
He was inoculated, but,
That would have been helpful to know.
well, not so much now. But
Yes, but we only knew that you and Cooper were inoculated. You never mentioned the captain. Yep. Oh, and Lori, right?
well, the
You never
captain
mentioned the captain.
was part of the problem. We also inoculated Valerie. And Well, I suppose none of it really matters now. We may never get out of this situation. We inoculated a lot of the crew. But some of them reacted poorly to it. And there were riots.
I'm gonna turn to Ava instead. Ava, how many of those inoculated had positive reactions?
Positive reactions?
Because he said that some of them
That's
reacted
fair.
negatively.
Yeah. Let's.
So I'm skewing the question around.
No, that's fair. She pauses. Based on the data I've seen Flynn reviewing, 80%.
Okay. How many of those that were inoculated eventually had negative reactions then?
Well, the other 20. But some of that data's fuzzy. I'm assuming Leah was inoculated at some point. She's displaying the symptoms. So I'm factoring her in with that.
Did Leah find a syringe somewhere in here and stick it in herself?
Well,
That's what I'm with.
Leah stole a dirty needle and the morphine from the med kit. So the needle was
right.
dirty.
Yes.
So, Ava, you mean that the 80% of the crew that didn't have bad reactions showed no negative reaction, no mutation, anything?
The issue wasn't with the reaction. As far as we could tell, it made them at least immune to the Draconis 26. The issue came. There's a pause. I'm not able to say any more on the subject.
Turn back to Flynn. All right, since you locked that data, what's the issue?
He sort of shrugs and runs his fingers through his hair. It was when they found out. Well, the inoculation works, and we have proof of that. We just. Well, maybe I don't necessarily understand it. And I think that's where a lot of the problems came from. The only person who really understood things was Lori Clayton, but she didn't ever tell any one person.
Okay. Tell me, Flynn, what happened to the rest of the crew then if they reacted positively, like you apparently have? Why are they not in cryo? You said you inoculated people, and those that were put in cryo. Why is it that it seems that only, 4 or 5 of you went in? Your stories are getting cut up here.
You have to understand, there were only so many working cryo tubes left. We didn't have enough power or resources to keep everyone going for as long as we may be adrift. Everyone started rioting after they found out more of the thing is, We made mistakes, and that's why we're here. We've been put on this ship as punishment. They're coming for us.
They being who, Flynn?
The mutants. These neomorphs. I'm sure there has to be more of them.
How do we stop this from happening?
Well, give me another 5 to 6 hours, and I might have enough to inoculate the remaining that stand here. And we leave.
We leave how, Flynn?
We repair the Cronus. We fly off.
Fly off with the Cronus still full of your neomorphs. How does this help us not be dead?
We weld certain sections of the ship, or maybe we corral them somehow. I don't know. We don't know much about their biology. Do they nest? Like, there has to be some way of tracking them, finding them.
Vehicle bay.
Yeah.
The vehicle bay.
Mother said the vehicle bay is measuring at about 120 degrees. That would explain where they could be nesting, because that would be a whole lot of bodies in one room.
Well, that's where we locked the majority of the crew.
Where did you lock the rest of the crew up? You got the captain, who you fucked up and put the engineer, and the captain clearly was in the corporate suite. You put some of them in the vehicle bay. Where's the rest?
All right. I haven't been completely honest with you either.
I'm just going to kind of pinch the bridge of my nose. I don't think you've been honest with me.
Well, I tried.
At all.
You don't understand. Lori, and at that moment,
his head explodes.
No. Nice. I like it. But anyway, Ava, with her left arm, I guess, picks up Flynn by the throat and begins crushing it.
Okay, I'm gonna kinda.
You left me no choice, Flynn. I didn't want to do this.
Ava, stand down or explain yourself. You have 2 seconds.
Unfortunately, Captain, I find myself unable to do that.
I'm gonna press the barrel of my pistol to the back of her head. You have 1 second.
Goodbye, Captain.
Bang.
Bang. I like it. Ava's head just caves open. Synthetic fluid splatters all over the walls. Flynn drops to the ground, wheezing.
All right, Flynn, you now have 2 seconds. Explain what the hell that was.
She must be at Mother.
Actually, it will take more than 2 seconds to explain.
Yeah. He's crawling up, he's gasping, he's coughing. She must be at Mother. How else would she know?
Know what, Flynn?
Where we are. She's probably watching us right now.
Who?
Clayton.
Who? Yeah, Mother? What does Mother have to do with this?
Clayton.
Okay. What does Clayton have to do with this? Why would Clayton want you dead if you inoculated people with her magic potion?
We don't know.
Why would she be mad at you?
Clayton's been running the whole show since the beginning. She's the one that gave me the vaccine in the first place.
How would Lori, a corporate person, not a doctor, not a biologist, not a scientist of any type, have this cure?
I didn't
Did you
ask
ever
at
stop to
first.
question that?
Eventually, I had my suspicions, but it was too late. We'd already done half the crew, and I wasn't stopping then. It was keeping them from turning anyway. Well, from one thing.
Okay. Now, how exactly would you recommend we leave then? Because Mother is, as you say, working with Lori. So how would we even be able to leave? Surely Mother could just turn the ship back off if we turned it back on.
I don't think Flynn has an answer to that. I think Flynn's been through some shit. And I think he's going to make a little bit of a panic roll and then pass out.
I'm just gonna fucking glare at him the entire time.
He just sort of passes. To be fair, he also was strangled for a bit there. Crushed in the windpipe. So Flynn is now...
going,
Yeah. He's now unconscious on the floor. Sorry?
Didn't Flynn say he made the vaccine?
That's correct. He did say
But
that.
now he's saying the other person gave him it?
Bad liars can't keep their stories straight.
Also, he could have just been lying from the start.
I just want to know if I remembered that correctly.
No, you did remember that correctly, yeah. Flynn initially said that he created the vaccine and distributed it. And if you remember, originally Dr. Cooper took the vaccine, and then we found out he hadn't, but Flynn said he had. And Dr. Cooper was also one of the largest persons arguing against the vaccine. But Flynn also said they were buddy-buddy. There have been a few issues with the story.
So if is Kayla supposed to be there during all of that?
I think everyone came because you would have helped drag them to medbay. So we're all sorry.
Sorry, I was just gonna say after he passed out, she would mention that to Miller. Like, didn't he say he made the vaccine?
Oh yeah, I have a lot more questions for when his ass wakes. Kick him.
I think you guys should tie him up.
Can you believe anything he even says?
I believe that he has some way that he hasn't had a negative reaction. Actually, you know what? Give me a hand putting him up on the table. I want to see something.
Oh, okay. This is fun. So you put
Yeah,
him on the table.
The doctor could see if he is actually infected or not, even, right?
That's fair, yeah.
I could.
Yeah.
Give us a medical check.
Yeah, Johns, do a blood draw and a tissue sample, because I have a very big question. I want to see if our friend here is a damn synth. Because of course you can't infect a synth. Ada was puttering around.
That's dirty. Well, that was pretty good actually with Dr. Johns. No, he is clean as a whistle. He's human. He has traces of the vaccine in him, but he's not infected with either strain. That was a pretty fun little guess, though.
In the alien universe, there's no such thing as like perfectly human appearing synths, right?
No, like Ash was pretty close and
But
then
he still had the lube,
yeah,
lube
and
Yeah.
blood.
oh, that's true. Yeah, no, they all have the blood because even I think it's Alien 3 when they have Bishop 2 or whatever. He's still like he looks like identical to a human, but like he still, I believe, would bleed synth blood. That's like
Yeah,
the
like
one thing he
X
never
I think he like
gets.
got a finger nicked or something, and he bled synth blood, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, like exterior, even emotionally, the synths get better over time, but yeah, the blood is still the problem.
but everything on the Cronus would be an older synth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Real.
That would have been a fucking plot twist if he was actually a synth.
That would have been a plot twist.
Yeah, because like I
Could you
said, that would have
imagine?
explained why he didn't get infected at all, and he's been walking around without a fucking suit on when there's this blueberry bullshit.
Well, I think we maybe call it here. Cham's now conscious. Wilson's conscious. Cham feels like shit. Wilson feels like shit. But they survived anyway, which is insane. I'm talking with.
For the,
Sorry?
oops.
No,
I was
go
gonna say, for the healing duration, is that like a number of days or?
So it all depends. It may say
It's like it just says 3d6 or something like that.
yeah, that's 3d6 shifts.
Okay, so forever.
Forever, yeah. Because we're only probably gonna have this shift, and that'll probably be the end of the scenario. I can't imagine it taking too much more because we're kind of like we're in the last leg sort of thing. I think we'll start Act 3 next session, and then it'll be like that's when everyone's sort of in go mode, and we're trying to get out. But it all depends. All depends how things go. I'm not sure in which direction it'll run.
After John's there is done looking at the tests, I want to have him check the captain's hips.
That's fun. So he does have a synthetic hip, and you could try to just horribly remove it, and
And he's dead. You don't need it.
that's true. Dr. Biologist, Dr. Johns, he could easily remove the synthetic hip, and he finds an slight like hairline fracture almost thing, cracks the hip in two, and blah, finds a key card.
Is it a golden key card of
Yes.
master access?
That's right. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think probably let you in a few places that Clayton's won't, but Clayton's will let you in most places.
Yeah, so like that's what I really wanted to have done.
But at least now we can have two people with mostly all access cards.
Yeah, like that got rid of a whole bunch of my things I wanted to get done. You know, get people X-rayed, get people tested, yada yada.
So
a lot of that got done.
Bard, if you could let me know what questions, or anybody, not just Bard, sorry, if anyone could like send me a PM, tell me what you want to ask Flynn. If you have a question for Flynn, or if there's something you're going to be asking him or thinking about asking. Nice, the HOP. I love it. It's always like just breaking in the HOP every time. What are you doing there? This is legit.
I'm petting his dog.
Yeah, but because Origami is now going to be taking over Flynn. Going forward, so I'm just want to buffer him with all the knowledge he needs. So yeah, if you just have any questions, anything you want to ask. So he has that, so next time you can ask him, and Origami will have, hopefully, all the answers, and I can help him out, if not. And Leah, we don't know where she is, but she's out there. Running like
Probably
a goddamn vent ape.
Probably sniffing some glue or looking for crack.
Yeah. Which, somebody found crack, and make sure it's in your inventory. The red eye or whatever. Yeah. Either way, take it easy, folks.
Later.